When Call of Duty Warzone released back in March 2020, it was a huge breath of fresh air for the franchise. The multiplayer was getting a bit stale from year after year of the same old game modes on new and different and revamped maps. It needed something fresh, so when Battle Royale games entered the scene and Activision saw the success and the popularity of PUBG and other Battle Royale games, it was really only a matter of time before they made one themselves. I mean, who could ignore the player base and the amounts of cash these Battle Royale games were generating? Anyway, this game right from the start blew all of the other Battle Royales out of the water. Interest in PUBG was dwindling, and it even managed to convert lifelong Battlefield streamers and players over to Call of Duty. And that's no easy task thanks to the rivalry that's always existed between the two franchises. But it quickly became apparent that SBMM and cheaters would be a huge problem in this game, and it still is today, after all this time. Once the system starts learning about people's skill level, their behaviours, for how long they'd play, or what makes them disconnect, SBMM started being a real problem for players in Warzone. I mean, it's all fun and games when you level one brand new account, but once you start racking up those kills in a Warzone match, you get to about level 20 and the system has enough information on you to start placing you where it thinks you belong. For a lot of players, maybe this isn't a big deal because you get paired with people at your own skill level, especially those in protected brackets. But once you start getting up there to the 1 KD, 1.5 KDs of Warzone, you start getting paired with absolute beasts. Teams that you know are better than you and absolutely wipe the floor with you. And coming up against hackers at this level is just inevitable. And I know the answer is generally to get cracked, but in my opinion, that's not helpful for anyone that can't play for 4 or more hours every day. Especially those players that can only play for like an hour or two a day, you know, the casual players which this game is mostly played by. So SBMM has the right intentions and I can understand why it's being used, but does it make the game fun? In my opinion, it makes it fun for some lower skilled players, and sometimes fun for the higher skilled players, because every once in a while it stops giving you absolute sweat lobbies where you have to play like you're injecting pure adrenaline into your veins, and you can actually have a semi-enjoyable experience. But when it does put you in those higher lobbies, and let's say you get to the top 20 in a match and you've racked up a decent amount of kills, you can be sure there's gonna be a cheater. But the problem with that is, in the higher skilled lobbies, it's very easy to say someone is hacking when they probably just have nasty reflexes. That's what cheating does to this game. It makes you think someone is hacking when they're probably just a god with a sniper rifle. So what do the developers do about this when, as they say, it's not as easy for them to snap their fingers and magically create an anti-cheat? Well, first off, in my opinion, they need to do something about SBMM. Whether that's making it less strong or whether that's making it a bit stricter so that when it's deciding who you're in a lobby with, it doesn't pair your 1 KD with a 4 KD. Or the players that you're paired with actually have similar stats to you, and I don't mean just your KD ratio, I mean everything. Your accuracy, your headshot percentage, everything. As a player with 1.8 KD, which would be higher if it wasn't for SBMM, let's face it, I don't want to be paired with a team of 3 or 4 KD players. That's just not going to be a fun experience for anyone other than the 3 or 4 KD players. I mean, those guys are having a great time, let's face it. As for the cheaters, it's now costing Activision lots of money, because they've discovered a way to unlock everything in the game without paying for it. That's all the bundles, all the camos, everything. It's pretty much all over YouTube at this point, and some people like Nick Merckx and everyone who've killed a cheater have inadvertently unlocked 1,000 levels and bundles and all of this, and it's ridiculous and I don't know what the hell's going on. So Activision now have the incentive to do something about it, since it's not just the fanbase raging on Twitter about how they want an anti-cheat, they're actually being cheated out of money. I mean, to be honest, you'll never get rid of cheating altogether. That's part of the problem. Cheating will always be there. It's just how hard the devs make it for banned players to get back onto the game and cheat. Maybe if they implemented a system where it takes into account multiple things like your hardware ID or your phone number, even though I know that stuff can be spoofed or replaced. But maybe as well it looks at the stats of a player and figure out that 100% of this player's fired shots were actually headshots. you can tell just by looking that's not right. So if you create as many hoops for the cheater to jump through as possible, it's surely going to discourage them at some point and make them give up and get good, right? Maybe. Especially if it's costing the cheater money to keep replacing phone numbers or whatever. I do wonder how many people have problems with not just cheaters but the SBMM as well, because I don't remember ever playing a COD game where I had to play it like I was in a tournament every single match. And I think people are tired of this, especially now that the world is opening up again and they just want to come home, chill out and play a bit of COD, but it's exhausting playing Warzone like a sweat. It's no fun for anybody but the sweats. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I don't usually do ranty videos like this, but having come up against many cheaters in the past few days and SBMM absolutely riding my ass, I had to let some steam out. So anyway, that's all from me today. I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo!